Hey guys, welcome back to Resistance Chicks for part 2 of Medjugorje. I'm really excited about tonight's show. If you weren't with us last night, you kind of need to go back and watch it first. Feel free to go ahead and stay with us because we're going to have a lot of fun.
He said the man was my son, and it was the Madonna telling the Madonna is telling Becca what it is. The woman in black was me. And if the taxi driver had not given me the Madonna, the Gospa, the bloody handkerchief, and he had thrown it into the river like Jesus had told him to, that would have been the end of the world. And so what theology is this? The bishop says, what theology is this? That if you don't, that Jesus wants to destroy the world, but the gospel saves the world. So these are kind of the stories in the beginning. And as you read their words and as you really read them, without the idea that they're just completely all awesome, break them down, right? So besides heaven, hell, and purgatory, is there any else new recently? Vika says, the Madonna told me that I should tell the people that many in our time judge their faith by their priests. He goes on, actually, I think I'm going to... Today, as it was a long time ago, the Virgin told me God and the devil conversed. And the devil said that people believe in God only when life is good for them. When things turn bad, they cease to believe in God. Then people blame God or act as if he does not exist. God therefore allowed the devil 1 century in which to exercise an extended power over the world. And the devil chose the 20th century.
Okay.
Today, as we can see all around us, everyone is dissatisfied. They cannot abide each other. Examples are the number of divorces and abortion. All of this, Madonna said, is the work of the devil. So you can see there's a little bit of truth in there, and then some odd things. Like the 20th century is the 1 century that the devil is, God gave the devil. Well, we're in the 21st century, and it's still all the same. It kind of got a little bit worse. So let's roll with it. That's really weird. This behavior of people, they're under the influence of the devil, but the devil does not have to be in them. No, the devil is not in them, but they're under the influence of the devil, though he enters into some of them. To prevent this, at least to some extent, the Madonna said we need communal prayer, family prayer. She stressed the need for family prayer most of all. Also, every family should have at least 1 sacred object in the house, and houses should be blessed regularly. And that's a Catholic thing, so I'm just not even going to go there, but still. She also emphasized the failings of religious people, especially in small villages, for example, here in Medjugorje, where there is a separation from Serbians, the Serbians Orthodox, and the Muslims. This separation is not good. The Madonna always stresses that there is but one God, and that people have enforced unnatural separation. One cannot truly believe and be a Christian if he does not respect other religions as well. You do not really believe in God if you make fun of other religions. Vika says, what then is the role of Jesus Christ if the Muslim religion is a good religion? We did not discuss that. She merely explained and deplored the lack of religious unity, especially in the villages. She said that everybody's religion should be respected and, of course, one's own. She says that... The devil enters the lives of strong believers, sisters, for example. He would rather convert real believers than non-believers. How can I explain this? You saw what happened to me. He tries to bring as many believers as possible to himself. You saw what happened to me. Very interesting.
And that's unexplained.
Yes. Can we suppose then that one of you might say that three secrets would be revealed before the great sign appears? The children were given like 10 secrets, and then there would be a great sign. All very weird, all very secretive. None of them have been like, happened or whatever. So nothing like that, but something like this. First, some secrets will be revealed, just a few. Then the people will be convinced that the Madonna was here. Then they will understand the sign. When Jakob said that the mayor will be the first one to run to the hill, he meant that generally people of the highest social class. They will understand the sign as a place of occasion for convert. They will run to the hill and pray, and they will be forgiven. And you know what? This thing has kept going on. And I really think that there is a spiritually demonic element to it to keep it going for so long. So what do you do when people who don't believe? let's see. There's a couple more. Let's see. After these 10 secrets, after these 18 months of apparitions, what do you tell the people that they should do? What do you say to priests, to the Pope and the bishops about revealing the secrets? What does Madonna want us to do? What's very interesting is, what do you say to priests and to the Pope and the bishops? These kids, these teenagers, and now young adults, like, what? First, I would tell you how it is for me at the end, and all right. 2 days before Christmas, the Madonna told me Christmas Day would be the last time she would appear to me. But the Madonna lied to you, or you convinced her to keep coming? Because this was in the early 80s. I didn't quite believe this, she says. I didn't quite believe the Madonna. On Christmas Day, she stayed with me for 45 minutes, and we talked about many things. We summarized everything that had been said between us. On behalf of many people, I asked what they should do. Then she gave me a very precious gift. She said she would appear to me on my birthday every year for the rest of my life. Also, independently of the sign and anything else, she said she will appear to me when something very difficult happens. And a lot of things that people are saying is that there was huge battles and wars and horrible things that happened in Croatia, Bosnia. And Mary said nothing about any of it or warned at all. And in the Fatima, there was warnings and there was things that actually kind of came to pass or whatever. Then she would come to me. But now I have to live without her physical presence, without her daily personal visits. I say to people, convert. Let's see. Oh, what did she say? I want to see the one part where she talks about what do you do about people who don't believe.
Look like you just passed it up.
I think I might have even passed it up.
It was like on the other page, I thought. I saw the word convert underlined.
It's okay. I think, she talks about what to do when people who don't believe.
Well, I want to emphasize, though, because you were reading these things and you're expecting the people that are listening to be able for it to pop like it did for you. Mm-hmm. All these things, you're just kind of reading them. And when you were explaining it to me, you expressed how we're talking about unifying Christianity and Islam.
I got a video on that.
And treating it all the same. And that, so like, we can look at our different Christian denominations and we can say, you know what, we need to have unity and we need to come together. Mm-hmm. Right? And that makes sense to most of us as Christians, regardless of what our denomination is. Now they're taking this as a broader umbrella than that, and now saying it doesn't matter if you're a Christian or not. If you're a religious person, you're all under God's people, and you need to be unified with Buddhists and Islam, and it's all the same. And that's where it's heretical.
So what I have right here, this is Fatima TV. That is the Our Lady of the Fatima, okay? And this is what they have to say about that. They were talking about.
Because we know the St. John of the Cross says that the more corporal the experience, the alleged supernatural experience, the more tangible.
They're not going to be able to hear that part, and I thought that was actually really important.
Well, there's a lot that's important. It's like the whole thing is important.
Just if people see, explosions of light or whatever that they claim that they see, that's all secondary to whether or not the vision teaches the truth.
Yeah.
And I got a letter from someone who was really angry at Catholic Family News because we had mentioned no salvation beside the church. And he said, well, you're dead wrong because you're going against Medjugorje. And he quoted me a newsletter from Wayne Weeble, who is a Medjugorje proponent.
I think he's a Lutheran also.
Okay. Well, anyway, but here's the quote supposedly come from our Blessed Mother. The Muslims and the Orthodox, for the same reasons as Catholics, are equal before my son and me. That's supposedly our Blessed Mother speaking. Yeah. Okay. That's and he was using that saying, well, this idea that outside the church is your salvation is wrong because Our Lady of Medjugorje teaches the opposite.
Well, first of all, we have to. Well, Wayne Weeble, of course, he doesn't have the rule of faith. The dogma of the faith is over everything else. The dogma of the faith cannot be wrong. It's infallible, and so if somebody's contradicting it, you say, well, I better revise my thinking in the light of Catholic dogma. But he's not Catholic, first of all. But so this person writing you in his ignorance might be quoting somebody, but the bottom line is so what you're proving to me is that I've not misread these books. It wasn't just one. I read 2 or 3. From all of them were in favor of Medjugorje. All of them said the same thing. All said, or they said something like this.
Here's another one, page 119 of a book called The Visions of the Children by a man named Connell. Vika, the alleged seer, is being interviewed. Is the Blessed Mother calling all people on earth to be Catholic? Vika says no. The Blessed Mother says all religions are dear to her and her son. She says it is we who have made the divisions. That's a constant thing too. Yeah. We've made the divisions.
Well, with all respect, I mean, this show. I mean, if we talk about people talk about names, what do the Muslims say about Catholics? What is it that first of all, that anyone who believes in the Trinity is an abomination to them?
Yeah, they use the term excrement.
Yeah.
So
the Trinity is, why do we have the order of the Blessed Trinitarians? The Trinitarians were founded to save Catholics from the Muslims, to ransom them from the Muslims. Founded by 2 saints about 1,000 years ago. But they took the order of Trinity purposely as it's the thing that's the vision of Fatima, the vision of Tui is a vision of the Trinity. Almost Holy Trinity, Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, I adore thee profoundly. That's the prayer the angel taught them. The Trinity is, if you believe in Fatima, then you can't believe Medjugorje is the continuation of Fatima. You can't believe Medjugorje is upholding Catholic doctrine that the Trinity, you must believe in the Trinity to save your soul. And this guy is saying, well, you can be Muslim. The Muslims don't believe in the Trinity. That's their the 2 churches, the 2 religions aren't the same. I mean, one is directly contradicting the other.
Well, one of the seers here,
what's his name? Softly,
Ivanka?
Leah, maybe you could just reiterate that.
Yeah, and so I heard it perfectly, but if you guys didn't, he said that to become a Christian, you have to believe in the Trinity, and the Muslims do not believe in that at all.
And Fatima said the exact same thing.
Right.
Now, so we're talking about these different apparitions because I want, like Leah said, to be using all Catholic resources here, because I want those of you that are Catholic that watch our show to understand that Medjugorje is
not Catholic.
Not Catholic. It's its own religion. Okay?
Yeah.
It's completely separate.
Yeah. Okay.
The same book, page 149 of the Vision of the Children, the Madonna said basically religions are similar. Okay, this is supposed to be our Blessed Mother speaking. And my personal favorite, this is from The Final Harvest by Wayne Weeble, page 110, where supposedly our Blessed Mother says, "My son and I do not cut the cake where religions are concerned. You have put the walls, the divisions between yourselves." Well, if that makes any sense at all.
Well, first of all, the whole idea is that, that Christ founded one church. Upon this rock I will build my church. He didn't say my churches. I mean, we talk about a diocese as being a church, but it's always understood in the context of being within the Catholic Church. And so, if you have many churches, and Christ, when Pilate said, "Are you king?" He said,
"So there's another here."
And he acknowledged his kingship as well as I do. They can't contradict themselves. So if you have a point I'm getting at is that they both can't be right. And so, why do we believe what God, the church, the faith? Because it's the truth. But we can't have the truth contradicting reason. You can say, well, it doesn't matter. It's just no. One is denying the teaching of Christ, and one is affirming it. You can't have a religion based on denial of the teaching of Christ.
Well, what's interesting here is this is the final quote I'll give, and that is, we know who Father René Laurentin is.
Yeah.
For the Father is more, he's a Mariologist, quote unquote, a modernist and very ecumenical, and he loves Medjugorje because of its ecumenism. There's a theologian speaking. He says, a post-conciliar style, openness and topicality. The apparitions of Medjugorje do not have a retro style, that's pre-Vatican II style. They are in keeping with post-conciliar pastoral theology.
So I'm going to skip that, and then I want to get to, so what he was talking, and I think I might have missed it, but he said Muslims view those who believe in the Trinity as excrement. Poop. And so I wanted to bring, like, the guy on apparitions, Fatima TV, to say, what do you think about Medjugorje?
Yeah.
Right?
Sources that praise Medjugorje, they're praising this as if it's a good thing.
Yes.
But as I said earlier, and you know, by their fruits, what are the fruits? The first fruit is it has to teach the truth.
Yeah, well,
and if it doesn't teach the truth, it's a false apparition.
But if it's teaching you that it doesn't matter what religion you belong to, and you believe that, you're going to go to hell. So it doesn't. Is Medjugorje something you should follow? No.
Pause. And I know Leah doesn't like when I interrupt because there's so much to cover here, but that right here is really, really important. You can only get to God through Jesus Christ. Okay?
I think that's
and so if this,
something that we can agree on with Catholics.
Yeah, and so if Medjugorje,
so important.
if the Mother Mary, whatever,
Right.
is saying, no, you can. You can get to God if you're a Muslim. You can get to God if you're a Buddhist. You can get to God no matter what your religion is.
Right.
Then when that person dies, they go to hell. That is Satan that says that. Only Satan will say that. There have been some Pentecostal preachers that have come out and said that.
What does it mean?
It's Satanism.
So does it mean, the Madonna said that religions are separated in earth, but people of all religions are accepted by her son. Does that mean that all people go to heaven? It depends on what they deserve. Yes, but many have never heard about Jesus. Jesus knows all about that. I don't. But the Madonna said basically religions are similar, but many people have separated themselves, especially because of religion, and become enemies of each other.
So she just said, it depends on what they deserve. Meaning, you can be saved just by being a good person.
Yeah.
Again, heresy. This is heretical. This is satanic.
But
this
see,
is
it
demonic.
goes back and forth. The Madonna is telling everybody to convert, but also saying all religions are equal. Like, it's really...
You can't have it both ways. And that's the thing.
And
even the devil can quote scripture. She has to include...
Right.
Should I say she? This demonic spirit, or whatever is all over this thing, has to include some scripture and some things that sound right, or no one will buy it. The devil always comes as an angel of light.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, there's a father, a priest from northern Italy, from Brescia, who said the devil was appearing. It's a vision of the devil. And
yeah, there's stories of that. Yeah.
Well, it's actually, he's got a whole report, a whole magazine. As father.
So there's this father. There's other. See, here's the thing. To say that you know for sure, because you wouldn't experience things, but there are Catholic fathers and priests who have written whole things saying, no, the devil is showing up there. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Luigi Villa, who's been commissioned by Pope Pius XII and Padre Pio to fight Masonry within the church. Anyway, his magazine says that, but the fact is, I mean, it's reported by, again, I believe it's Pope Medjugorje Books, that the devil did appear one time at Medjugorje. I mean, appeared as the devil. And then, when the children saw it, he transformed himself into Our Lady before their eyes. I mean,
no, this. I mean, the story.
Can you reiterate that story again?
So there is a story that the children say. See, and it's so funny because these people, I know people. Well, what's your proof? What's your proof? This is proof. Okay, it is. The children said that they were walking down the road and the devil appeared to them. And then the devil, they were afraid, the devil changed himself into the gospel. And the gospel said, I was testing you.
So, and the way they say it, and that's a fact, that's exactly how it happened, but the way that they would say it is, Mary appeared to them first, pretending to be a demon.
Right.
And then changed herself into herself.
Mary. Right.
And said, I was testing you, when the way you explained it is exactly how it happened. The devil showed up.
Oh, baby. Yep.
And then transformed himself into this angel of light.
Yep.
Of what has really happened at Medjugorje is not really told. And when you have the Seers, now our friend Jim Damaris, he was at this event. They had this huge stadium full of people. And the main attraction was you come out and you watch the Medjugorje seer have an apparition, and you pay your money at the. And Jim saw this, and he said it was one of the most horrifying things he ever saw. Because it was either demonic, or just very bold charlatanism. Not exactly Catholic.
Charlatanism meaning there was there.
And that was what I was showing you, with no, where's the girl? Right here, the suffering of Mary Jana, like. So that was what he's referring to. And you pay your money. You pay your money. You pay your money to see something.
Guys. And I guess I'm probably more muted tonight than I was last night, because to me, my heart breaks for people
Oh my gosh,
that are caught up in this, because like I said last night, they just want to feel something. And it's like going with good intentions, and then the devil literally takes you and rapes you and leaves you penniless and naked and cold, and meanwhile you're under the spell that you're warm and clothed and being fed, and meanwhile what everybody else sees is that you are naked and shivering and bruised and beaten, and that's what God is seeing, because it's so satanic.
And that's why we're bringing this to you, because I got good news for you.
Yay!
You can experience way more than you could ever experience at Medjugorje, right in your own home.
Amen.
With the power of the gospel of Jesus Christ, he can touch you, and I pray right now that he touches you and he speaks to you and you feel him wash over you. And if you have any doubts or unbelief inside of you, that he washes those away, and you look and turn your eyes on Jesus. I'm going to finish this one and we're going to move on.
Putting on a show for pay and breaking in the...
So Medjugorje has just too much wrong with it to take it seriously, and also especially when Fatima has so much to give us.
Yeah. Well, in fact, the idea first of all.
So I also want to go back here. Now that you've heard that, I want you to hear how they explain the bishops. This is for my Catholic friends, because I care about you and I love you and I know that you care about this stuff.
Yeah.
Tells us that we must not extinguish the spirit, we must not despise prophecy, but we must test all things and hold fast that which is good. So let's just take Fatima and Medjugorje, for example. Fatima has been tested by the church, has been found to be good, doctrinally get into that here, but whereas Medjugorje, on the other hand, has been tested by the local bishop, and he's time and again, and the successor bishop is the same way. It's not supernatural, okay, and over again. So now,
and also we should say too, with the bishops of Yugoslavia who conducted these investigations, there is a procedure, there is a proper procedure to go about in investigating these things, and these bishops have done everything that they're supposed to be. They didn't.
And the trick of it is that they keep having more and more apparitions, and so so you're actually supposed to, like, Our Lady, the Fatima is like, you can fit everything like on 11 pages, and like a bunch of them like on 11 pages I had just heard. Right. And so you can really study and see, but they're like, I'm here and I'm here and I'm here and I'm here, and how do you say, well, this one is it or this one is it? And some commissions say, well, the first 7 days were it, then the rest weren't. Well, and then people are like, well, how can you say that if somebody's becoming a charlatan or demonic
after the
for
fact?
70,000 more?
Yeah.
Why would Mary come to somebody who would begin to, and there was nothing to be said in those first messages at all. Like, hey, children, do you want me to stay with you? Yes, we'll stay. Please stay with us.
This is
how long do you want me to
exactly
stay
like
with you?
Joseph Smith.
Oh, Mormons, yeah.
They have literally created their own Bible.
Yeah.
With their own messages.
With their own messages.
With Jesus.
Right.
As
a sideshow.
Well, yeah, but
or
there's
a stamp of approval.
That's more like it, okay? And so anybody, like, I'm sure a lot of these Medjugorje people would look at Joseph Smith and say, oh, that's a cult.
Oh, absolutely.
That's not biblical. He made up all those messages after the fact. Well, that's exactly what has happened to you in the midst of all this, and that's why it's so important for us to bring this to you guys, and it's going to get even better. We have a lot more to cover.
Just look at a sheet of paper and said, oh, this isn't true, and just cast it aside. They interviewed the people involved, the so-called seers and all of that, and they have said a number of times there is nothing supernatural happening here.
Wow.
In fact, the bishops of Yugoslavia,
you can bring up
all but one. So people send me also to materials. I haven't got time to read everything people send me.
So I want to play for you an interview here from the Bishop Pavel Zanik, the Bishop of Mostar in 1985. And he's the guy who...
In reference to what this man behind us, not that guy, but the other guy,
He's the guy who wrote this.
Right, but what I'm saying is, he said there's people, they did the interviews, there's a process that you go through to find out whether these are correct or not.
And this is him in 1990, because still nobody was believing his 1985.
It's unbelievable.
Can you imagine that?
Is he still alive?
No, he passed away, and then another guy was appointed, and he's even more anti-Medjugorje.
Wow. Okay, could you put a dark background behind us? That would be helpful. Whatever dark background you have, anything.
I have to close everything out then.
No. Just any one of the other videos, even mildly dark works.
Dark.
Whatever you just had up would work.
Okay.
Was eager to talk. The bishop cited the evidence of the University of Montreal psychologist that the Franciscans are manipulating the youngsters.
Do you believe that the Virgin Mary is appearing at Medjugorje?
Ne vjerujem.
No, I don't believe it.
Ja sam skoro siguran.
I'm almost sure.
Dopuštam da se kao čovjek mogu prevariti.
Men do make mistakes.
Ali ono što sam ja dosta ispitivao...
But so far, from my investigations, I've come to the conclusion that she is not appearing.
Franciscan Svetovar Kraljević remains defiant.
The Bishop of Mostar is unequivocal. He says the Virgin Mary is not appearing at Medjugorje.
That is an opinion of a person who has a right to say so, but if you talk to...
This is not just a person. This is the bishop you're speaking about.
His judgments, what I would like to say, are not professional. And his judgments come from his inner disbelief that the children don't see the Blessed Virgin Mary.
What about the messages and the secrets? Where'd they come from?
Te poruke dolaze od fratara.
They come from the Franciscans, from the brothers. That's what I believe.
Okay, that's what I wanted you to see there. All right, so where are they now? What's happening now? I think I'm going to play a small little video, actually, to get you...
To whet your appetite.
Well, I think... No, that's not what I want to say. I'm sorry that... I want to play... Where are they now, actually... I'm going to... I know it would be easier for you guys to see there, but here is a little bit of what was happening all the way back in the 80s, where like all these Franciscans became really popular, and they heard all these confessions, and they talked to all these people, and my oh my, they felt really important. But a lot of these Franciscans, they were later on defrocked. Okay, so I wanted to give you an idea of what was going on there. This whole massive movement of people coming from all over the country. Okay,
you said to me that your research uncovered that they felt like superstars. Really, well, I mean, in a sense, everybody in the surrounding areas just looked up to them and thought that they were just like
they did
the greatest thing.
And then now I'm gonna play for you just right in the beginning what began to happen to the town.
People whose lives have been mostly struggle.
Let me see. Wait, back this up.
But the cost of many of the villagers are expanding their houses to take in guests. They hope to make some profit from the tourist boom. The government, too, is cashing in. A compulsory rate for rooms is charged, 60% of which goes to the local tourist board.
So you charge somebody 25 bucks to stay. I mean, like 60% of that's going to the government.
Yeah. Brought the wide world here. They've given a sense of pride to people whose lives have been mostly struggle. But the cost of being chosen is real. Even those who have benefited are not without some regret. Jasminka Ostojic, a cousin of the visionary Maria, runs a soft drink stall.
People used to be calmer, now it's an endless rush.
Ljudi prije su dosta bili smjereni, staloženi i sve, a sad je to kao sve užurbano, kao da nigdje žure.
Everyone's in a hurry, there's no time to help one another.
Za nečima. Nikako nisu kao smjereni da bi imao vremena posvetiti se, na primjer, jedno drugima i tako.
Catering for the tourists takes up all the time.
Posebno sad kao ovaj turizam i to dosta vremena zauzelo. Mislim, hodočasnici dolaze, stranci se primaju, sad nemaš vremena.
You can't just drop in for a chat the way it used to be.
Niko kod koga da priča i da razgovara, da su zajedno, da se sastaje kao što je prije bilo.
This is in the very beginning. Now it's even bigger. But
Oh,
I wanted
yeah.
to hear you say this last line from her.
You wanted them to hear it.
I wanted you guys to hear it. So all the trinkets, all the things to be sold.
Kad bi imala toliku moć, promijenila bi sve komplet, samo bi ostavila Gospu.
I'd like to get rid of everything but Our Lady. And that is the other side of the story that you don't get to hear. And there's another side of the story. As you see, a lot of the Medjugorje people, they'll come home, and from what I've heard, there are divorces that happen because somebody who's so into it, and if that other person doesn't believe, they get angry and vehement,
Which
and
is
violent.
anti-scriptural because the Bible talks about trying to live in peace.
Right.
You know, if you're saved as a Christian and the other party is happy to live with you,
Right.
then you should remain with that person.
Exactly.
But what you're hearing is many testimonies from the side of people that come back, their spouse doesn't believe, they get really angry, they try to force them to believe, and then there is a divorce that takes place.
Exactly. Forcing
The
somebody.
devil is all about splitting things that God joined together up.
Right. Exactly. So, I know it's right here somewhere. I have, where are they now? Hang on, guys. I gotta find my link here.
Robin Poe says they sacrificed the quality of their lives for materialism. She also said earlier that she felt sorry for them when this whole thing does fall apart because they'll be left destitute, the people of the surrounding area. And I thought to myself, yes and no. I don't think destitute is the right word because regardless of whether this thing does get debunked, I think you'll always have a small sect. It won't be as huge, but I think you'll always have a small sect of people trying to make their way there.
All right. So now we have,
we are the family that shows up everywhere late.
we
if
are
you've
not
ever
married.
wanted.
We cannot show up on the dot.
Thank you, Eric. Eric says, by the way, Michelle for president. Frankly, Eric for president, but you're not old enough. So we got to get Kansas in there first, and then Eric. So, all right, we'll see you Friday, and then we'll see you Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. God bless, guys.
I was cold all alone. No place for